point, every play here matters for these teams as they want to fight their way trying to get to the alpha bracket here. The way that it works for everybody who is maybe unfamiliar with Super Jump's format, so these teams that missed the opportunity to go straight to alpha, they have one more chance here in Redemption to redeem themselves. So in these rounds 1 and 2, the first round, whoever loses, they'll go to beta. Second round, whoever wins goes to alpha. Second place team goes to beta. So you need to win both of your matches here in Redemption to make it back up to that alpha bracket.
Yeah, and so on the other side pieces of the bracket, you have this this ton oh my gosh, Toma pushing me to read at this time of day. You're kidding. Distonked and Decemberless 6-7, whoever that we saw earlier. I'm not feeding into the meme either. I'm with Stormy here. I'm not feeding into that. Uh Ham Talk and Strikes Twice are playing it out. You have Carmel and Tidy Tidings, who Carmel you got to see a little bit earlier, and then you have Trigger Happy and Bad Luck, which is who we get to watch here now on IPL, which is so exciting. As we load into the first map here, I actually from the overhead, I'm not sure what this is. Are we at Hagglefish? Yes,
This is
we're at Hagglefish.
Hagglefish. Super excited to see them as both these teams are out here. I'm really interested to see actually the play from this mini alongside this Forge over on, or Pro, sorry, not the Forge, on the side of Trigger Happy. I think that's a really cool, interesting combination. Of course, you have staples like the S-Blast, Flash, Pencil as well, 52, all really solid common picks. But right now, we're kind of just scrapping it out in these opening moments, trying to make a statement on both sides. You take a few trades. No one really able to super establish themselves, but as you're saying, this Bad Luck does get a little bit of orange down, able to make a first attempt here at this checkpoint. The Booyah Bomb going to stall them out a little bit, Sap, but they really need to get up here to protect this tower.
Yeah, but Bad Luck doesn't need to push forward too far because Trigger Happy is kind of in the name, doing it for them. That's two members going down trying to take in this court area, but Bad Luck is not letting them have any of it. Steez here has been really good at playing to their range, taking out DJ in a couple of shots there. You can see all the members of Trigger Happy trying to defend their ramp, but that's a Reef Slider going up there.
Ooh.
Great opening by Sora, and hopefully they can make use of that, Toma.
Yeah, staying alive down there, now going to be able to potentially flank in and cause a lot of chaos. The crab tank as well coming out here, Sap. Just a lot of pressure, nowhere really for the members of Trigger Happy to be able to stand super safely as this second checkpoint here being heavily assaulted. The Tower Rider does go down, going to stall that push out a little bit, allowing Trigger Happy to regain a little bit of control. You see the Dapples, or the Tetris, they're still trying to apply a little bit more pressure, but unfortunately going down. We're going to be resetting back into mid, a little bit of this neutral game again. But that was a really great first push from Bad Luck, Saf.
Yeah, but a even better turnaround coming out from Trigger Happy right now. Already the court area is being taken by F. Most of Bad Luck is now back on the battlefield. They're looking to try to see if they can defend the ramp. Kind of a similar situation that we just got to witness with with Trigger Happy's base. But now it's Bad Luck taking the tower back into possession. That's two members down on the side of Trigger Happy. They're going to have a great follow-up here to make sure that they can maintain their space. But Bad Luck has been so quick to take territory back from getting wiped out.
They sure have, and with Styes having that cooler out too, it's going to be even faster play as they have, that kind of reset button if they do go down. The Crab Tank applying a lot of additional pressure to down, and now look, you've got this 52 and you've got this wall out here in such a great area, able to apply a lot more pressure. You've got Sora over here on this right-hand side. They're making a second attempt here at this checkpoint too. Tower Rider goes down once again, 3 down. They're going to flush them out. Another good defense from Trigger Happy.
Yeah, Trigger Happy now on the back foot again, though, because Bad Luck can only get it down to the 35. We haven't even come close to breaking that second checkpoint just yet, even though the distance is so much less between the second and third checkpoint on Hagglefish Market here. But look at the breakthrough. The flank coming out from Bad Luck was going to be super helpful, but it looks like not really able to take too much value out of it as 3 members have now gone down. That is a soft wipe onto Bad Luck. Trigger Happy really needs to hold their offense strong here, Toma, if they want to try to beat this lead.
Yes, they absolutely do. Gonna start here at this first checkpoint, but 2 down already, Saf. Looking like quite a dangerous situation. The bubble does come out to help with this first checkpoint, but I'm not sure it's gonna last all the way through the first checkpoint. Breaks right there. Does allow them to get through, but we know how dangerous this second checkpoint is. It's going to be quite a scrap if they're going to be able to do it, and the Tower Rider is down at the moment, so they're not going to be able to continue this push forward just yet. You see that one of them, Fisk there, has dropped back to try to reestablish an anchor for the team in mid. We do get a few picks, but again, we're just going 2 down, taking trades. Neither team are really able to get, I think, what they really need to establish themselves, to either find a push on either side. Saf, Fisk, though, I do like how they keep, you know, they fall back at the right moments to get everybody back in, but then they don't hesitate to push right back up and gain some ground for their team, as we already see a lot of purple ink coming down. We see the Booyah Bomb, we see the Tenta missiles coming out as well. We have 1 down on the side of Bad Luck, looking for another. The Reef Slider comes out. We are approaching that 35 count mark, Sav. We may see a lead flip here if they're not able to get this stopped.
But I don't know, it looks like there's not a lot of hold on this elbow here, and with Jason being a little bit too forward, that's 2 members going down for Trigger Happy on that tower. All Bad Luck has to do is just keep 1 member on there entering the last 5 ticks of the game here, and it's only a 1-point difference, Toma, so Trigger Happy unfortunately losing that one to 1 point. Bad Luck going to be up in the set. But one thing I'd like to note here is that Bad Luck...
Let's Trigger Happy, actually. Trigger Happy did flip that lead on the tower.
Well, doggone it, I'll be darned. I didn't even see it happen. And you know what? I'll eat my words. I'll eat my words, because I was about to, like, try to critique something that I clearly don't even know nothing about. So yeah, just, you know what? Yeah, just to pull me off. Get the cane. You'll see me get yanked off the side of the screen. That's my bad, Trigger Happy.
I think it was it Fisk, I think, that fell back at the right moment. Their Tower Rider had gone down. It kind of did look like the lead wasn't going to get flipped there for a second, but one of them that was on that right-hand side noticed the tower went down and fell back at just the right moment to just kind of dance, you know, just for like a few counts longer. We may see it here actually on this replay coming up. This Reef Slider, of course, is super scary. This is the pivotal 2 down. Oh, it's Jason, sorry, that was up here, right? The lead goes on, the tower goes down, and Jason comes back around to help get that tower. That was crazy.
I was so distracted by the soft wipe of the team. I was unfamiliar with their game. Okay, I mean, I will take that in stride. We'll move on to Splatzone's Mako Mart. Trigger Happy. If they're able to flip lead in those crucial, like, last few seconds of each game that they play, then that's going to be really tough for Bad Luck, because you need to be on it and focused the entire time if this is how this set is going to be played out. Because, like, I didn't even notice it. I'm watching the same game y'all are, and I didn't even see it happen.
It's hard to see. I mean, they say all the time that Splatoon is a fast-paced game, and that's the truth, Saf. Those leads, they flip in a blink of an eye, and you can blink, you miss it, and that's just what happens there, you know. And that's such a scary moment for both teams, right? You're diving on that tower, hoping that you can get it. Everybody else is throwing everything they have at it, hoping that they can try to just splat you right before that lead can shift. And sometimes that's just how the cards fold. But going into Splat Zone's Mako Mart from 2 teams that were that closely matched, Saf, I'm really interested to see how this map is going to be played out.
See, I disagree in the closely matched, I agree just based on the points, but what I wanted to say previously was that it seemed to me that Bad Luck was able to play it a little bit more patiently, because a lot of Trigger Happy would just be running out to the center of the stage like as quickly as they could, but then they would lose sight of the members of Bad Luck that were sitting in tow waiting for them to do that. So it was a really good read on Bad Luck's part, and I think Trigger Happy just happened to get really fortunate in their placement of where that tower was in that last match. And it's not to say that the skills also didn't help with that, but I was just noticing in gameplay throughout that last tower match that it just seemed like Trigger Happy was just gung-ho, ready to go. Let's get as many people out on the field as possible. Like, try to take kills, but if you keep dying, then, like, just try to get back out and do it again. And thank goodness for Cooler for that. But, you know, again, Toma, I maybe Splat Zones is just the better mode here. Maybe that's kind of just the nail in the coffin. That's kind of what's working on this recipe because Trigger Happy's had control of the zone for most of the time. Now, finally, with that first minute of the game down, Bad Luck is here to make a statement.
Yeah, that Reef Slider was able to come in and secure that zone for them, but I think that really what you're seeing here is that Trigger Happy, they were able to get in there, they were able to confidently win their fights for so much of it, and that's why they held so long in that beginning. Of course, now we're starting to see that story flip on its head a little bit if F doesn't just come in here and wipe the rest of the team with that hammer. Really good plays there, but not quite able to reestablish the zone control, waiting for their teammates to get back in. Sword doing a great job picking that bucket up there, and now you kind of start to see where Trigger Happy is getting a little bit out of position and maybe needs to kind of wait to be able to go back in together as opposed to running into that zone, as we kind of just see a continuous stagger here. They do finally look like they may be able to break back out on this left staff. They do have that Booyah Bomb ready to go, but they need to find paint on the zone with it, and they're not quite able to do that yet. That hammer hopefully going to be their answer alongside these strikes as they're finally able to recap, but 2 down. It's not going to be able to be sustained, Saf.
Yeah, I really appreciate F using this mini Splatling because the stamp is just such a powerful tool these days, and mini Splatling also just has so many great uses. So watching F really shine with this weapon has been really fun to witness during this matchup here. But Bad Luck still having a really firm foothold in the middle section here and evenly spread out resources. I want to point that out too because you have Lei here on that Crab Tank. It didn't really find full fruition, still able to find at least one pick outside of Crab Tank, but most of the members of Trigger Happy are either all caught up on that left-hand side, now finally being pushed to come down towards the middle, but there's still so many obstacles in the way before zone can really truly be captured, and we're entering the last few ticks here, Toma, but actually finally Trigger Happy, before that Booyah Bomb was even made landfall, is able to take the zone back.
Yes, they are. Now they really just need to make sure that they can stay in this kind of lockout position and win their fights if they're able to move up into it. Styes making that hard, trying to keep them at range with that pencil and that cooler online for that team. Fortunately, the cooler going down right down in the freezer where they're going to have to drop where the Reef Slider comes in and does get that cap on the zone, but they do go down immediately, but not without taking 3 of them. That zone now flipping blue once again as Bad Luck is now in a great position to maintain control.
Yeah, and I really think that Lei here has been such a key player in all of this because they've had great coverage with the weapon that they're using, not just in terms of ink, but also they keep chipping people if they keep just kind of spraying out and about. But that's been really helpful for the folks of Bad Luck because when that 52 in that Tetra, you also have a lot of quickness in order to get to the proper places and help with that damage control. Trigger Happy, though, coming into the forefront, taking the zone back in possession. We're about to enter the last minute of the game here. And it's looking to me like Bad Luck consistently has a troubling time getting out of the spawning area here. But not if you get 2 members down, and that's everybody up on Bad Luck. So easy take back for the blue team here.
Absolutely, and they also have the Crab Tank and that Reef Slider on, well, I say right as the Reef Slider goes down, right? But they do still have this Crab Tank online, and that goes down too. A little bit of a commentator's curse, so sorry there. But there's few counts left on the zone. Now it's up to Trigger Happy to really try to get back in here. The strikes in the Booyah do cap that zone in time and take down 2 as well, Sap. They're going to have one final stand here, but I think the big key, they're really going to have to make sure that Reef Slider doesn't come online. That's been the way that Bad Luck's been able to really easily get into this zone both times. And if that insta zone cap comes in on overtime, it's game over. That's their win condition right now, is to take out that Reef Slider.
Yeah, not having a quick cap is going to be crucial here for Trigger Happy. You can easily do that if 2 of the members are down, though. But now there it is, though. I was going to say the Reef Slider is going to be online here any second. And before I could even, like, the action happened before my words could. So that was a brief take by Bad Luck. So that is a 1-to-1 set, Toma.
Absolutely. That was really, really good. I really liked Bad Luck's persistence there. I think that they did a really good job when they had control of that zone, Saf, is that they would keep punishing anytime that they saw somebody from Trigger Happy drop. alone, they were on that person as soon as possible. That's kind of what led to a lot of that continuous stagger on the side of Trigger Happy, which made it a little bit hard at times for them to reclaim that zone without the strikes and the booyah. So Bad Luck really kind of playing, I think, like you said at the beginning of this match, that patient game, waiting, playing wisely, and I think that's ultimately what paid off for them here.
I don't want to discount, though, that mini stamp combo, because consistently you were seeing the stamp try to come in and cover zone, but also, like, F was really trying to get some good throws in there. You could see it. They were aiming, like, above the stacks to make sure they could try to get something with it. So you gotta appreciate the effort, especially with something so vertical like Mako Mart with so many different things and obstacles being in the way. So trying to utilize a stamp to its full fruition is kind of a tough spot to be in on a map like that. But I do really like what Trigger Happy was doing this time around. I think the tower control game was a little bit more predictable. Splat zones, not so much. That there was a lot more confidence here, and I think the gameplay was a lot better. The team play was a lot better. And however, but Bad Luck still came out in the end on top. And so moving into game 3, we have a guaranteed game 4 because of this. And Rainmaker is going to be our next location, or our next mode, not necessarily location, but the museum.
We're going
in
down
fact, we're at the museum. I was like, hold on a second. I thought you were correcting me. I was like, no. I see those spinners.
Yeah, they are. We're gonna. We get our admission tickets. Gonna learn some facts here in the museum today. I'm really interested though, Saf, on this map in particular. I think in general we know about how what's the snowbally that Rainmaker can get. That's what we're gonna use here. When you get in control of that fish, you can run it really, really far, especially if you get that kind of good wipe, and then you can kind of play the stall game if you've got it in a really good position, especially, we know the spot, right? We know the spot on this map. So I'm going to be interested to see how that plays out, especially right now. You've already got a really early lead from Bad Luck as they break that checkpoint. What was that, 45 seconds into this match?
Yeah, it was a pretty quick checkpoint break from Steins, and trying to break it, especially before the missiles made touchdown here. But let's just talk about Sora for a second, because that's 3 members down on Trigger Happy. But Bad Luck, as the name implies, jumping into a bomb, holding the fish with 3 members down. Unfortunate use of time. Not even their fault. Just bad timing. Just bad luck, if you will. Just bad luck, if you will.
I see what you did there, Saf. But right now, again, it looks like Trigger Happy is just kind of struggling here to deal with all the pressure coming out from Bad Luck, especially with this Crab Tank online now. Finding another great pick on there to F, finding another one too there, and now you're kind of grouped up in the corner in a really difficult position to be in. Saf, this is a really good opportunity if they can get this Rainmaker pop, but I think it's happening just a little bit too slow, and we're maybe starting to see Trigger Happy start to stabilize a little bit out here in mid, and maybe even trade some people out as they start to make a push of their own. Now you've got Bad Luck pushed back up on their plat, these Rainmaker shots coming out, trying to cause some chaos. A drop from behind does pick that Rainmaker off, and is going to slow down Trigger Happy's push for the meantime.
Yeah, it's been really tough to wall out the Gal player, considering they have a wall of their own. But consistently, I've been seeing the Gal player kind of sneak through some hard-to-reach places, and ultimately contributing largely to the topple of Trigger Happy's offense. But here, Bad Luck being on the offense finally. No more jumping into bombs now, Toma. We got work to do here. Now finally reaching a new distance of 33. The missiles are going to cut that short, though, with 3 members going down. It's just the Gal player up. Maybe looking for a safe jump here, though, but finally the members of Trigger Happy collapse in, and that jump is not going to be safe at all. You do take one down with you, though, so I'll give you that. But Trigger Happy is next up to make a response.
You know, it's kind of style points. Like, you're gonna jump in, you may get splatted, but if you take one with you, like, it's the aura, right? You get some bonus points for that. And honestly, you probably don't even mind it when you're in the lead right now by this much, and there's still a checkpoint to break on the other side. So, for what it's worth, I still don't think the worst play ever. Right now, as this fight goes on in mid, it looks like Bad Luck is once again trying to cement themselves here, forcing Jason back here into this corner, going to be picking them up. Now all on this corner, able to pick up that Rainmaker and start to push 3 down, Sap. Bad Luck, time and time again so far this match, has really been able to just have this commanding presence on the side of Trigger Happy's base and really just apply a lot of pressure and allow their Rainmaker to kind of swim uncontested until it gets into those really scary portions near that pedestal.
Yeah, it's been they've been chipping away at their lead pretty slowly here, now down to the 28 mark, as you can see. But the Rainmaker doesn't get very far from where they initially tried to set their new benchmark. So down to the 28, right? But it's just below that platform there. So it'll be super, if they're able to open it up again, which they already have a couple of times, it'll be super beneficial for them to try to get it back up again. But I think how is one to do that when Trigger Happy has been dividing their resources so well? But look at this. There's no eyes on the Gal player. Everybody was pushed up there for a moment, Toma. Trigger Happy has to be so careful. I mean, it literally all eyes everywhere, including the back of your head.
I love little sneaky plays like that. And you know, it's when you're in the lead right now and you got 30 seconds left on this timer, just being able to stall little plays like that too is so valuable to just kill time off that clock. And even so, right now, Bad Luck still maintains control over Trigger Happy's spinner area. With 20 seconds left in this game, it's really on Trigger Happy to be able to break back out here, get this Rainmaker down, and claim a lot of space. But that Reef Slider going to make it difficult to go down. This is going to be their opportunity to pop, pick it up, and make a push of their own. But they have so much ground they have to cover, and they don't know that this 52 gal is behind them, just waiting to pop out and get a kill. Looks like maybe F has realized it, but they are going to just run straight at that Rainmaker. Don't get it, but that stalls off potential time from that push, making it even harder for them to get forward and claim space.
Yeah, and I really liked Sora over on the right-hand side there was opting to shark and not push forward too much. Fisk is very much called out alone and by themselves. Their teammates have pushed up without them, it seems, and they've been really worried to go any further. Now they have to wait even longer for teammates to come back in. Toma, this is just not looking super good for Trigger Happy, but Bad Luck is playing the long game here, which is exactly what you want to be doing. The Reef Slider's not going to find value, but is going to pursue Fisk in the chase here and ultimately allow much more ink to make its presence over there for Bad Luck. So that is Trigger Happy getting shut down, and Bad Luck is taking us into a game number 4.
Yeah, wow. I really admire at the end there Bad Luck's ability to just apply continuous pressure and force the members of Trigger Happy there further and further back. You saw them pick up that Rainmaker, and by the time they lost it, I think there was 15 counts left on that Rainmaker,
Something like that.
approximately, give or take, and they were still in their own spinner. Because every time they saw, like, maybe I can move forward now, maybe I can move forward now, somebody from Bad Luck was like, nope, not right now, you're going to have to back up again if you want to live. And that ability to kind of just apply continuous pressure, especially in an overtime situation, is just so, so valuable.
Well, it makes you wonder too, kind of where the breakdown might have happened, right? Because you could tell that Trigger Happy was ready to go in that overtime push. They probably communicated, all right, like, we got to play this slow, we got to play intentional in order to really make any headway here. And Fisk, like, really played that out for a while.
Oh, they were dodging way better than I can.
They played that out for quite some time. But I wonder, though, if Trigger Happy, again, just in the name, got a little too ahead of themselves in trying to jump down into the midsection to open something up, because it seems to me that Bad Luck tends to be more graceful in pushing people into 1v1s. A little bit.
Absolutely. I think what you kind of saw there is I think that their 52 gal player did a really good job of kind of stalling the time at the beginning of that overtime push, getting everybody to look at them, which allowed the rest of Bad Luck to kind of get into a good position so that when Trigger Happy was like, okay, we got the 52 gal, let's run forward now because we need to go forward. They maybe weren't expecting people to shark on the sides or be prepared to just apply pressure to that Rainmaker as soon as they dropped and all of a sudden weren't on that high ground position to be able to defend anymore.
Right. And I think too, with something like Scorch Gorge and having the map be a little bit more spread out, a lot of the pieces of the map are much larger. Taking fights and team fighting is really interesting here, just because you have different verticalities, you have different ramps and physics that you have to think about, and objects in the way. And virtually no changes in terms of composition, really, too much between everybody, except Trigger Happy. You have F switching off of that mini Splatling, and we're going to be going to the heavy Splatling. So appreciate a Splatling user through and through. This is going to be their cooler weapon of choice, and the pencil still is going to be sitting strong with Steez. And I really want to point out that Steez has been playing to their range just perfectly as a pencil player. They really have done a good job of not overextending themselves. They've been really playing at maximum possible range that they can, but still providing so much support for their teammates. And that's exactly what you want to see when you're a pencil player. And shout out to Sora for a really, once again, another good reef slider to open it up. But bad luck to me is looking like to be the first ones to really cause some damage here.
Yep, and now we've got the jump in from the pencil player coming in to dunk that first tower clam, and they're already going back looking for more clams to be able to add into this score. Coming back in, they got 3, 4 right now. Will they be able to add it before that basket closes? Looks like they are able to keep it open just in time, adding a few more, bringing that score down to 68, maybe able to add a few more as you continue to see 2 go down on the side of Trigger Happy. They're able to stall this out a little bit longer, but unfortunately this time not quite able to make it back in time, maybe going for a little bit too many clams. But Sap, look, still 3 down on the side of Trigger Happy. Bad Luck still has a lot of control here to be able to make a push again, especially with this jump coming in with the power clam.
Yeah, and having a higher jump as well. Although getting called out pretty much immediately, you had to just rely on the power clam for making the statement for you. Sora, once again, being the ultimate sharker on the side of Bad Luck, and they're still there. And they're still there because Jason doesn't want to try to jump down into the alligator's mouth. I mean, why would you? But at least you have a blaster on your side because that AoE is going to be the finishing blow for the sharking tactic from Sora. But that Trigger Happy is looking to try to take some from the playbook of Bad Luck and pushing forward here. However, with Lei having that crab tank online, that's going to be causing some hesitation in order to move forward for Trigger Happy.
Yes, and now they have another power clam ready to go, though. Here, they're trying to push up the ramp with that Tetra release, but unfortunately going 2 down now. Going to be forced to back up. There goes 3. Just the last player here in this corner, getting that jump out to reset the defense with their team. Trigger Happy now gearing up to potentially make a push of their own, but they need to get the clams together. They need to get forward and take this space. It's going to be really difficult with this 52 here, applying so much pressure, dipping and diving around this pillow area. Able to pick out 1 on that power clam. Now 3 down. That was a really clean defense, Saf.
Yeah, clean defense indeed, because now Bad Luck is going to be pushing into the basket area so quickly of Trigger Happy, and having the crab tank online too. I mean, good golly, what is Trigger Happy to do? But finally, with that crab tank going down, that's a huge barrier being removed. Look at this, Toma. Oh my gosh, like a bunch of ants to a piece of food. They're already out in the center area. That's Sora going down, so your aggressor on Bad Luck has been down. You have to kind of play together, and you can see the other 2 members of Bad Luck were playing together over on that left-hand side of the map here. But still no headway made from the side of Trigger Happy. Could this be the answer? That power clam, though, almost falling off of the edge, but it is going to allow Trigger Happy to get 2 clams and potentially make it 3. Oh, let's go. FN a lead. Wow. Okay. I see you, Trigger Happy.
We see you. That was a great play, and I mean, that's really, like, I think kind of fitting with their name, right? They saw the one moment. They didn't have as long of an extended push like Bad Luck had, but as soon as they did have that opportunity, they went absolutely full throttle, just hit the gas and was able to get that score in.
Yeah, and I like to see that Bad Luck is still really adamant on the response here. Sora's going to zoom in with that reef slider. Huge opening for Bad Luck to get, well, not 1 power clam, but 2 in the basket, and a very immediate reverse of the lead, and just a handful left in order to end the game here. And still 2 members of Trigger Happy make it 3 going down. This is just not looking good at all, Toma. Bad Luck is going to be your successor in this first redemption match.
Yeah, huge win for them there, but I mean, still a really good effort there from Trigger Happy. I'm sure that they have a great beta run going their way tomorrow. 2 really, really impressive teams. Bad Luck, they're going to be fighting it out one more time in that next round to try to go to Alpha, and, hopefully they'll have some good luck there.
I mean, one would hope, right? And then at that point, do we change our team name? Do we change our roster? Is that because that just
Maybe,
seems like the normal way of things
hear
in
me
these
out. Maybe the bad
storylines?
luck. Maybe the bad luck's for their opponents. Maybe that's why it's their team name,
Mm,
right?
not so much in this match, unfortunately, but maybe matches to come and potentially, uh, in or no, no,
It was. It was.
no,
It
it
was
was.
for
You're
their
right.
opponent. Yeah.
What would I
See,
do
we're
without you?
we're thinking
Sometimes
now.
I think I think my head would probably be gone somewhere else if it was not attached to me, and I think
It's
about that
because
all the
we're
time.
getting so old now, Saf. We're getting up there.
I know. I feel
Forbidden
like
things.
I need my glasses to keep up with everyone.
I feel that too. It's been so. I mean, has it been since Riptide for you? Since you've been on mic too?
Um, no, it has not been
No.
since
Okay.
Riptide.
It's been Riptide since me, or for me. So that's why we're struggling here today, but we're making it through. Look at this, the replay. This was such a beautiful moment from Trigger Happy. And I like I said, I think that was such a good push fitting of their team name, right? I think that
Hmm.
was an awesome moment. But bad luck, man. The continuous pressure they had, the way that they were able to just hold space was just so impressive.
Yeah, and you have teammates that knew when the opportune time was to work together, and that is calling out earlier to a play where Sora got taken down and there were two other members of Bad Luck in mid and they immediately played together. They immediately grouped up and started moving through the center map together as soon as Sora was taken down. And that just goes to show like if you can immediately respond to whatever pieces of the chessboard have been taken out, I mean, you're going to be going places. Like if you can read that, if you can have that type of risk assessment and read the danger in something like that, and especially with split second decision making, like things are going to be looking up and doing well for bad luck. So that was really incredible gameplay to get to watch. But Trigger Happy also just had really magnificent plays. And I mean, case in point, that Clam Blitz game having three power clams back to back to back. I mean, the economy has to be very much on your side in order to land something like that. So not all this to say that sometimes you can have really, really good luck, if you will, for a play like that to happen. But in this case, bad luck is going to be moving on in the redemption round. Um, Also in the bracket, if we can jet on over to the bracket side of